Good evening. It's good to have you with us at the 9 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate. For the past 1 hour, viewers, we showed you the chaos, the confusion, the anger that was there amongst citizens because of what happened at the airports today, because what is happening with the domestic air travel. On day one, people didn't know whether their flight will take off, and if they land, what's going to be the policy of the other state? Will they get home? How will they get home? The flight's been cancelled. When will they be given another flight? Will they have to give additional money? When will they get their refund? Or will it be put in some credit shell? How do they use it? Series of queries and just utter mayhem and confusion. Now, who's to be blamed for that? Who is accountable? Can I blame the airlines? I don't think so, because it's the governments who came out with the policy. Should I blame the state governments? But the state governments say that we told the center to not come out with a clear-cut announcement unless you speak with us. But the center came out with an announcement a long time ago. So why did it take so long for the states to come out with their answers and their policies and protocols? What were we doing for the first 2 months of this lockdown if at every stage of policy implementation there are so many gaping loopholes? Did we not learn any lessons from the migrant mess to have now created an air travel mayhem? Some of the questions I have. I just want to take you through the timeline just to put this in perspective. You all remember 17th of May is when lockdown 4.0 was announced, when the government said that okay, we are going to extend the state of lockdown for 2 more weeks, but there will be some changes. The states can take a call on zoning and the restrictions on the zoning. But here are the few things that are still not allowed. In those things was domestic travel and international air travel as well. Irrespective of that announcement on 17th of May, on 20th of May, the aviation minister announced resumption of flights from 25th. On 20th, this announcement was made. On 21st, guidelines for domestic travel are issued. Mark my words, by then the airlines and the travel agents had already started booking tickets. In fact, that began even before the announcement came and continued for a full 6 days till this morning when there was utter confusion. On 23rd of May, 3 days after the announcement, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal raised their objections and said that we should have discussed this. We are not too sure if this is a good idea. On 24th of May, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, though, gave in after a lot of lack of confusion and said, okay, we will allow minimum flights. Then the center came in and said, okay, at the behest of some states, the flights will be curtailed. Late last night, this order came. Chhattisgarh raised its own objection. Every state going on its own tangent, coming out with their own set of rules and regulations and policies and objections, leaving it to the passenger to go on 5 different websites, call up 5 different call centers and figure out whether they should or should not travel and how they should travel. Let's ask some questions. Let's say good evening to Gopal Agarwal, national spokesperson for the BJP, Mahesh Bigala, leader of the TRS, Kovai Satyan, spokesperson for the AIADMK, and Dr. Shama Mohammed, national spokesperson for the Congress party. Shama Mohammed, let's begin with you. Was this a hasty decision? Is this what it looks like now in many of the states that are governed by Congress party and your allies? It still looks like you're not on the same page as the center on domestic flying.
Tanvi, first let's get certain facts clear. Who is the DGCA under? Not the state government. It's under the central government. So the central government and the DGCA is under the Civil Aviation Ministry, which is under the central government. The DGCA puts in the standard operating procedures and tells the airlines what to do and what not to do. Now, and also the Civil Aviation Ministry or the central government is supposed to be communicating to states. They discuss what is going to happen and then take a call. Now, for example, Maharashtra, we were not very keen to start till the 31st because there's a lockdown here and there are issues in it's a red zone. Mumbai is a red zone, Pune is a red zone, but of course there are containment zones also in that. Now, what happens is they take a flight, they need taxis, they need other things to go from there, like buses or something to go from the airport to the various locations. Number two, there are people who are going back. Like there are people stranded in Delhi, for example, going back to Mumbai, or Mumbai, stranded in Mumbai or residents of Delhi, they have to go back. But there are also those who want to travel on business. So Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, the Civil Aviation Minister, 3 days ago said that the Arogya Setu app is not mandatory. 2 days ago, day before, he says it is mandatory. And then if you download the app and put a self-declaration on that, you don't need to home quarantine or institutional quarantine. Now, who is he to decide what the states should do? So what is happening out here is there is a lack of coordination between the state and center, because the center takes arbitrary decisions without asking the state what to do, how to go about it. Because if he says the next day that if you have, you've heard it, I've heard it, very categorically he said that if you have the Arogya Setu app, you don't need to do home quarantine. But that's not the case. Even his homes, even a BJP state like Karnataka says 7 days of institutional quarantine and 7 days of home quarantine. That's what the Karnataka says. Bihar wants 14 days quarantine. Madhya Pradesh wants 14 days quarantine. Now, these are not Congress rule states or opposition rule states. So these are very clear that the DGCA has to put in the SOPs. There should be a coordination. You know that the trains, for example, let's look at that. Trains have gone to 30 different wrong locations. All right. But that is not the fault of the states. It is, again, the railway ministry comes under the central government. The central government is supposed to see to it that these people get food and water. For example, in Maharashtra, we have sent back the migrant laborers to their home states. The center is supposed to take 85% of the charges, and we are supposed to put in 15%, the Maharashtra government. But here we have put in 100% because we have not been given back the money which the center has promised. So there is a lot of coordination, the reason being that there is no national task force. And let's not forget that there is a National Disaster Management Act right now in which the center has much more power than the states. Because when the center says there has to be a lockdown, there has to be a lockdown. So looking into all these into consideration, we have to ask the center to coordinate well, get the Civil Aviation Ministry to give out all the protocols to the DGCA, which clearly tells the citizens and the travel agents what to do. Now, cancellation is not being refunded by airlines because the DGCA has said that it is not mandatory. So what is the state supposed to do? This is supposed to come from the central government.
Okay, I hear you, and I will ask the BJP representative to reply in just a minute. But Shama Mohammed, wouldn't you also agree that as far as the arrival policy is concerned, that you also pointed out Karnataka has very different one than what the central government minister said? It should be left to the states. So effectively, Karnataka should be able to decide on people who are coming to their state. What are the rules and regulations? My only point is, why is Maharashtra or Karnataka or any other state waiting till the last minute, till Sunday 11 p.m. to issue these guidelines?
So I can answer to that. Now, instead of the Civil Aviation Minister, the mistake, even if you ask the passengers in charge, the Civil Aviation Minister made the big mistake of saying that there is no requirement of quarantine if you did a self-declaration form on the Arogya Setu app. Now, that is for him not to say. So that's why people booked. Now, if you just heard a lady saying that I wanted to go and see my son. So she felt that she does not need to do home quarantine or institutional quarantine. The Civil Aviation Minister, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, should have just pointed out that about quarantine, it depends upon the states. So states will give out what the regulations are, and you have to follow that. And not say that, please download the Arogya Setu app. It looked like it was mandatory. They wanted us, all the citizens of this country, to somehow download that app so that everybody has the app. That is what I feel about it. So that is the reason. The whole thing went wrong because of the Civil Aviation Minister's statement. He should not have made that statement. He should have left it to the states. That's what he should have said. And that's what he did not say. And that's the confusion. The minister himself is confused. The central government is...
I remember...
Yes, Tanvi, what were you saying?
I agree with you. I remember, Shama Mohammed, on the day that news briefing happened, and this specific question was asked about, quarantine upon arrival or policy upon arrival. In fact, to what you're quoting, many did interpret it as saying, oh, that means there won't be any quarantine. Many, interpreted to as saying, oh, the states can decide, or that the aviation minister has evaded this question and, circled around it and not given us a clear answer. We had a debate even that day on this entire issue internally, and then even on the urban debate itself, saying that what is the policy? Shouldn't there be one clear consolidated policy We asked that question that very day, Gopal Agarwal. Shouldn't there be one clear policy? And today, look what has happened because of it, Gopal Agarwal. There is confusion, chaos, utter mayhem in so many places with people stranded.
Tanvi, Shamaji took around 9 minutes, so I will also peacefully answer some of the questions that she raised. One thing is, she said that it is the DGC and the central government that should announce what they want, what they intend to do. Then in the same breath, she is saying, who is Hardeep Puri to announce anything? So first she should clear her confusion in her mind that the central government is very clear that when the person reaches to their states, then it is the responsibility of the state government how they manage it. There was sufficient time and they should have done it. If they have not done, they are not performing. The only criteria is that they do not want to take back those people. Same thing they did in the Maharashtra and other states, say Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. Same thing they did about the trains, and then come on the streets like Rahul Gandhi and doing video nautanki, everything. So they do not want to solve the problem of either the migration labor or the people who want to go to their houses, their native place. They are certain people are very much stranded in different locations. They need to go home. They want air travel. So considering this, the central government is announcing the maximum guidelines that is allowable activity. Further, the state governments are free. It is now more than 2 months. It is 65th day when the central government has said that slowly we are opening every activity. We are opening travels. We are opening railways. Now, when the railway will open on 1st June, they will start shouting what we'll do. Do it today. And don't do nautanki on the streets about having working for the Pravasi migrant labor. Then she only objection is from Shama Mohammed is about the Arogya Setu. Arogya, why he said this, why he said this. Oh, this is not a Bible or something, a constitutional statement. If they want the Arogya Setu not to download and put up a different guideline for the people coming to the state, do it. Who is stopping them? What is there that just Hardeep Puri said one word? Mr. Hardeep Puri said one word in his statement or in the answer, which is not there in the guideline or anything. That is the constitutional word, and all other things about state having the independence, state having the how to define. So the thing is, they are not interested, particularly Maharashtra, etc., are completely utter they are incompetent to deal this situation. Neither they have the willpower. See what is happening to the hospitals in Maharashtra. See what is happening to police personnel. They cannot manage this thing. What happened between Railway Minister and Uddhav Thackeray? They asked for trains, and when Railway Minister said, I am ready to give you 125 rail, then they did not come out with the list.
Mr. Gopal Agarwal, I don't want to discuss trains right now.
No, the thing is the same pattern is coming.
That's a debate at
whether it is the bus, yes, the bus or railways. Now,
but what about Gujarat? What about Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Chennai?
They are
all of these places are facing similar problems. People are stranded everywhere. They don't know what the policy is. People landed in Bengaluru and Chennai today and then discovered that there is a different quarantine policy. Now, I'm asking you, was there a rush? Why did the center rush and not take the states into consideration?
After 65 days, Tanvi, after 65 days, you still say that there is a rush when there is a 6-day time limit given. Now, I'm telling you the same thing will happen on 1st June. So when the trains will open, same story will repeat itself. The thing is, the state government are not at all interested in solving the problem. They want to create chaos on the streets, on the highways. They want to picture them and then say that we are working for the solutions. So this is the only agenda, and it is the attitude of this state government. Ultimately, you have to agree that this procedure has to be laid down by the state government, whether it is BJP or Congress. First, you agree on this point. So if
no, don't put just the onus on the states. Mr. Gopal
About
Agarwal, if it was just the
receiving.
onus was
No,
just
no.
on the states,
It
there
is
would not
not
have been a
just-
need for the
not-
center to issue a circular last night saying, okay, we
But
will
a
curtail
center-
the number of flights to certain states to 25.
Yes. So
this
you
is a
yourself
coordination
said that-
between the state and the center.
So why
Please do
didn't
not
they give-
mislead our viewers by
So-
saying it's either
No,
just the
no,
state or just
nobody
the center.
misleading.
And this goes on for all political representatives. This is a point where the states and the center have to talk to each other. Unfortunately, the states and the center are not talking to each other. Mr. Gopal Agarwal, please listen to me. I am just saying the onus is on center and
if
states
you-
both. Together, you cannot
talking
not
means-
talk to each other.
talking means
Have
like-
we not learned anything from the mess
No, you
that
have to
made out
write
of the
there.
migrants' mess? Please don't. Talking
do you
doesn't mean
talk?
tweeting to each other and telling the entire world that
Oh,
you're
the-
fighting.
the way-
Talking
if you're
means
not
picking up the phone
responding-
and coming out with a comprehensive
You are
policy
saying
before you
there-
announce the policy.
there-
Before you start
the
booking tickets,
spokesperson-
before people
the
reach the
Congress
railway
spokes-
platforms and the
Congress
airports.
spokesperson here is saying, Congress spokesperson on the national channel is saying, who is Hardeep Puri ji to tell about this? So this is the attitude. If she doesn't know
So
who
that
is
means,
Mr.
then
Hardeep
let's
Puri,
admit
who
it.
is the
Let us
aviation-
admit today, Mr.
I'm
Mahesh
just saying
Bigala, let me come to you. Okay, let me go to two of our other panelists. I want to go to two of our other panelists. Mr. Mahesh Bigala, is this a sign of complete breakdown in communication between the states and the center? Does this look like a case again like the migrant strain issue where states are planning something else and the center is planning something else and people are having to suffer?
Absolutely, Tanvi. This looks like the blame has to be on the central because the aviation ministry and DGCA is controlled by the central government. And before releasing the SOPs, they need to make sure with that all the states that they are following or they're all in with the same line. If example, even in the state of Telangana, there are not many issues. But however, if you look at the BJP-led government, even in Karnataka and even in the central government, and the union minister Sadananda Gowda, he himself couldn't understand the SOPs and guidelines of the central government and the state government. He is interpreting differently than if you can say that a union minister can't interpret and read these guidelines. How can a common person can read these guidelines and then follow through the guidelines? The BJP spokesperson, he was talking about the state to be blamed, but it's a BJP government led by the BJP government in Karnataka or even Gujarat. So whom do you want to blame? It's not the question of blame game. Of course, the central government is trying their best to bring the things back to the normal. But when they issued 4.0 on the May 17th, they should have given the clear guidelines and taken consideration into all the states, whichever the states raise the concerns. Example, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and West Bengal, Tamil Nadu. All these states have raised their concerns, and especially this is creating the chaotic situation for all the passengers. They book the tickets after waiting for 65 days at their homes or even any place where they got stuck and stranded. Finally, they thought they can get back to their destinations. They booked the tickets, reached to the airports, waited for several hours, no communication from the airlines that the cancellation of the flights, finally ended up in the airports. And they had no clue whether it's an institutional quarantine or self-quarantine, and there's no quarantine. So hopefully the thing should settle in a day or two. But, this is definitely the central government to be blamed, and they should have had much better coordination with all the state governments before issuing the SOPs, and hope they should do for even when they're opening up. So we are coming up another week. They should have waited or come up with the clear guidelines, because everybody, even all these educated and elderly. See, there are so many elderly and small kids, they were stranded in the airports. If you look at the thing that, as I said, I'm insisting again that, when the union minister can't understand its own government's guidelines and SOP, then how can we expect a common person just trying to reach to their destination can do it? Absolutely. They have to review the policy and give the clear instructions and move forward.
Yes, in fact, Mr. Bigala, you raised the issue of the union minister, Mr. Sadananda Gowda, reached the Karnataka airport and then said these quarantine rules are not for me, because in Karnataka, if you're traveling from Maharashtra or Delhi and four of the other states, you have to mandatorily go to a quarantine facility. And he said these rules and regulations are not for me, I have work. Since that created a huge amount of outrage, I just want to tell my viewers, that the Karnataka government has now tweaked the policy and said, oh, ministers and VVIPs are exempted from this. So they've actually gone ahead and exempted the ministers, saying they have to do important work. This quarantine and screening and all is not for them. Imagine this. Whereas the
So it's a
average citizen of this country has to figure out and pay out of his nose to first a cab guy who may agree to take him to the airport, reach the airport and then find out the flight has been cancelled, perhaps would have seen a rescheduling or a cancellation for the fourth time since the lockdown began, has no idea where to go now, can't go back, can't go to a hotel, doesn't know when they will get the next flight, and the policies are still changing. Maharashtra government, viewers, came out with their policy SOP for arrival in Maharashtra 2 hours ago. This evening they have released. Day one has finished of travel, that's when the SOP has come. The Delhi government has just released their guidelines for domestic travel. Asymptomatic people will be permitted to go with advice that they shall self-monitor. In case they develop symptoms, they need to inform their local authorities. Now the guidelines are coming in detail. This should have happened earlier. Kovai Satyan, was there no conversation between the states and the center? Were you all caught by surprise when Hardeep Puri held that press conference and said, oh, from Monday we are starting flights?
Yeah, good evening. So I extend my Ramadan wishes to all the Muslim Brotherhood across the globe through your channel. See, Tanvi, it is quite natural for the center to formulate some policy and put the onus on the state. But at the same time, let us not forget, we are all still locked indoors because of one simple reason, that the coronavirus took this carrier, the airlines, and landed in each in our respective cities. And from there onwards, it's got spread. So you have to understand the chief source of the coronavirus for any nation is the airlines. We cannot deny the fact. So we need to take utmost care and concern that it doesn't get repeated, or there's no such cases that this airline becomes yet another example of carrying coronavirus across the cities. Indeed, there is a lockdown 4.0 in place. It is there till May 31st. While the central government has formulated policies to open this aviation industry, there are a lot of overlapping communications when it is difficult for somebody to take a clarity. Let me give you one example. At one side, there is a notification or there is an announcement from the center saying that Arogya Setu app is not mandatory. People who want to download it can download it. On the other side, you say people who want to have an air travel should have Arogya Setu app compulsorily, and it should show a green light because you are not from the containment zone. The point here is, who is there to validate these data and how these data are going to flow in sync simultaneously so that the stakeholders of the state can take effective actions. Let us understand, there is a beautiful story today. A 5-year-old boy got reunited with his mother in Bengaluru after 3 months of lockdown. But a state as a policy strictly says that children less than 10 years should not venture out, and elderly people, please take care, stay at home. Who are above 60 and have got comorbid, please stay at home. When we have a clear guideline, should I allow that person to travel and get reunited with his mom, considering the level of risk and exposure he will be made to undergo? Or what should be it? So you should give the breather time to the state to understand what actually is the problem faced by the states. Yes, it is good that you say the state has got the powers and they can take the leverage to frame their own policies and guidelines. But at the same time, if my policy is different and your guideline is different, would it meet the purpose? Let us understand what is the agenda we have in front of us. You want to open up the aviation industry, we welcome it. But let's understand who is going to have the common agenda, how data are going to flow. We have tested 210,000 people since Corona started. We have the capacity to do it. Not every airport will have the same level of infrastructure and bandwidth like what you are talking about. And there has to be quarantine facilities which needs to be created. And when the state already reeling under the number of positive cases which is arising, and I have the breather time to increase my infrastructure parallelly as well. So let us understand, you have to take cognizance of the stakeholder at large. And yes, definitely you should spend considerable time in understanding the stakeholders' problem. My problem will be totally different as Tamil Nadu vis-a-vis Maharashtra, or vis-a-vis Hyderabad, or vis-a-vis Andhra, vis-a-vis anybody for that matter. When I am in the epicenter of coronavirus, Chennai is the epicenter of coronavirus, is 5,600 people, where 90% of flights are operating out of Chennai for Tamil Nadu. You have sparingly other 3 main airports which operates in Tamil Nadu, which can handle the load. But 90% of flight travel in Tamil Nadu happens through Chennai. So I need to have a clear-cut understanding what people want and how I have to take it forward. and what is the prerequisite for somebody so that I can get the data in hand. You can say that an asymptomatic person can board the aircraft.
No.
At the same time, after he lands, there is a quarantine
So, Mr.
policy.
Satyam, to you. So let me ask you and all the others this question, and let's begin with you very quickly. Do we now have a plan, or will it take a few more days? How do people get to the airport? From the airport, how do they get home? How many flights will be allowed? Is there a clearer plan now, starting tomorrow?
Yeah, there is a plan, and it's indeed the central government has clarified that 25 flights will be operated out of Chennai, and other 3 airports, this next number of flights will be operated. So there is a clarity from the central government now, and nonetheless, even during the time of lockdown, 63 flights operated out of Chennai, carrying almost 10,000 passengers to their places. So it is not that the airports were completely shut down; it was partially operational, carrying out relief measures and cargoes and everything. So the point here is, when a person from another state traveling to this state, he should be given the breather and the clear direction that this is the policy of that particular state. And the onus probably and the responsibility should be put more on the airline carrier to brief the passenger. Please go through the policy of the state. If you are clear, then please proceed. After landing, you cannot put the blame and onus on the passenger saying that, sir, I am ignorant, sorry, I traveled to this state, please allow me inside. So that will put the state in a fix. So I would say that yes, you need to have a place wherein the information for the public or the people who are traveling through airline or can be taken readily and reckoned readily. Yes, Tamil Nadu government has put out in its portal, they have said take mandatory passes, e-passes. If you are asymptomatic, you can be home quarantined. If not, then you will be taken to the institutional quarantine where you have to spend 14 days. That is probably the norm across all the states who finds patients with suspect COVID cases. But at the same time, when you I can let the person.
Okay, let me quickly go across. Yes. Yeah, okay. Mr. Gopal Agarwal, do you want to respond to this? Now I have 3 people here on this panel, apart from you.
This is not done.
Okay, Shama Mohammed, make your point. Yes, Shama Mohammed, make your point.
I have to respond right now. I started the debate. You don't want me to wait half an hour to respond, isn't it? Can I respond?
No, it is. We waited for you for 10 minutes to finish your lecture.
Now let me speak. I
your
also want
sermons and lectures we waited for.
Okay, let's not waste time now, please. Gopal Agarwal, hang on a minute. Can I just hear what Shama Mohammed wants to say?
Yeah, I want to say what Mr. Gopal Agarwal said, couple of points. He said, I asked who is Hardeep Singh Puri. Never I have uttered the sentence, who is Hardeep Singh Puri. I know who is, he's the civil aviation minister.
You see the recording, madam. You don't tell lies. You said this statement 2-3 times. You said it. See the recording.
Yeah, I said, what is
who is Mr. Hardeep Puri?
I didn't say that. Maybe your English is very weak. So maybe you need to take classes.
No, you don't think that you only know English. मैं हिंदी में बोल देता हूँ मैडम मैं हिंदी में बोल देता हूँ आपने कहा कि मुझे तो इंग्लिश नहीं आती
Okay. So okay, Mr. Gopal Agarwal, she's saying she didn't say that. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah, so
I don't want to get into personal attacks now, Shama Mohammed and Gopal Agarwal.
She said it.
Shama, finish your point, please.
He doesn't allow to make me see. On number 2, he said that the hospitals in Maharashtra, High Court of Gujarat said the civil hospital in Ahmedabad is a dungeon. Get it?
If Gujarat is
dungeon. So there is nothing, you brought it up, I have to rebut to that. Maharashtra hospitals do not have a problem. It's the hospital in Gujarat which is having a problem. And what we are asking is, we also want the passengers to go, but you know that Mumbai, there are many cases. It's a red zone. It is difficult. We want to save Indian lives. We do not want Indians to die because of COVID. So that's why there should be a national policy from the center by telling the states. Yesterday, we decided in Maharashtra.
That's what the center has. अब हिंदी में इनको समझा
Yes, you decided yesterday. That's the whole point, Shama. You are deciding on Sunday evening. If you decide, obviously there will be mayhem on Monday. Why are we deciding on Sunday and not earlier? Anil Deshmukh tweeted 3 days ago he doesn't think flights should be allowed.
तन्वी जी मैं हिंदी में अपनी मातृभाषा में समझा देता हूँ.
Tanvi, we didn't want the flights to start. So the center was not clear with us. When the center spoke to us 3 days ago, we told them that since there's a lockdown till 31st in Mumbai and Pune and many other cities, we do not want the flights to start. So then what they did on Sunday, they gave us stringent SOPs and said, we are going to follow stringent guidelines for y'all, particularly for Mumbai, and please start the flights. That's how we changed our mind, because when they brought in those things, we said, okay, then we'll go ahead. And we mentioned 25 flights because we understood there are certain passengers.
Okay, I'm running out of time. Quick comment from Gopal Agarwal. Yes, Mr. Gopal Agarwal.
हाँ, मैं इन्हें अपनी मातृभाषा में इन्हें समझा देता हूँ। पहली बात ये है कि इनको जिम्मेदारी लेनी चाहिए कि क्वारंटाइन की जो आवश्यकता है वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को अपने हिसाब से रूल्स बनाए और उसके हिसाब से उस काम को जिम्मेदारी लें। उसके लिए अब शमा जी अब आपने बोल दिया ना। दूसरा बात यह है कि समस्या के समाधान के लिए सबसे बड़ी समस्या का प्रॉब्लम क्या है? लोगों को घर जाना है। ये
okay. Just Gopal Agarwal, please. Shama Mohammed, I don't have time for this. Please. I don't want. No, this is not a political yelling debate. Shama Mohammed and Gopal Agarwal. Unfortunately, I will have to just interrupt her because you two are not letting each other talk, and I don't want to waste time like this. Very quickly. I just want to go across Mahesh Bigala and Mr. Bigala. Is there at least clarity on when Hyderabad airport opens? How will people get to the airport, come back? What's the quarantine policy? Where do people find out this information?
Tanvi, it's pretty clear about that. As far as Telangana is concerned and the airport in Hyderabad, there was no issues today except the cancellation of the flights due to the things beyond our Telangana control. But other than that, including check-in process to the security and then arrival process, everything went pretty smooth. Today, there were about 20 flights departure and 20 arrivals, and except a few cancellations, and we don't anticipate any more issues tomorrow and day after and going further. But except these are the certain things beyond the control are about the airlines. And the Telangana quarantine policy is pretty much in line with the central government. So whoever is coming, if they are not symptomatic, they can register, and the health officials will be monitoring them for 14 days. But there will be self-quarantined, and they'll be staying at home. If they are tested positive, or even if they develop any symptomatic, and then they will be moved to the concerned government hospitals, and they'll be tested for corona positive or negative. But other than that, it's pretty smooth in Telangana because our Chief Minister, KCR, is on top of the corona pandemic since the beginning, and things are under control, and we are making sure that everything is taken care and address the issues. And one major issue here is the lockdown 4.0. It contradicts itself with the air travel, because certain people who are coming by road, there are certain guidelines, and if it is somebody coming by air, it's a different guideline. So it's like the central government has to make it clear, and they have to give all the guidelines and SOPs of all the states to the airline. And before even booking the ticket, passenger needs to know what they should expect once they reach to their destination. They don't have the clarity. When they book the ticket, if somebody is coming from Maharashtra to Chennai, they should know the guidelines of Maharashtra and also know what are the guidelines in Karnataka or Chennai respective destinations. That's what the central should coordinate with the states and put the SOPs and give the guidelines to the airlines. And that should ease the problems across the board.
Well, all right. Thank you so much to all of our panelists for joining us right now. I just want to put this out for our viewers to think about before they make any travel plans. Yes, initially we saw the kind of confusion, the complete policy mayhem and chaos that happened on ground, lack of coordination between states and center when the trains for the migrants were initiated. Same issue has now been witnessed when it's come to our domestic air flights and our airlines starting operations. Utter confusion. It will take all of this week as cancellations and rescheduling happen. People are stranded at different locations, losing their money, unclear of what's going to happen to their refunds or cancellations, or when they will get home. If they get to the other state, will they be quarantined or not in an institutional facility or at home? All those guidelines are still emerging. Secondly, if this is a state now, and if we've not learned any lessons so far, if you're still willing to fight, point fingers at each other, indulge in a blame game, I can only imagine the mess from June 1st when the train travel begins. Now, mark my words, viewers, some of the states have raised this issue. They've raised this issue with the center. They have spoken publicly about it, and we've not seen any response so far. Will there be more chaos starting June 1st? Is this how we are going to win a war against coronavirus? Is this how India will open up? And by the way, I am not advocating shutting down. I am not advocating extension of lockdown. I am saying the government should have used all of this time for better policy planning and now should be implementing it much better. On the other side, Maharashtra versus Centre on the trains that are already running. What's going on over there? Who's to be blamed? Stay with me. Welcome back, viewers. There have been several points of confrontation between the Maharashtra government and the centre. In fact, several state governments and the centre over policy implementation during this crisis called coronavirus, during this lockdown as well. Now, the fresh one seems to be over the Shramik trains, over the trains that have been initiated to take the migrant workers back to their home states. And that too has been a point of confrontation between these two sides several times in the past. But suddenly in the last couple of days, the fight has become really nasty. Now, frankly, we just want to understand what the plan here is. How are these people going to go home? How many trains are needed? Why aren't these trains being given? And at what point will they all reach home? Because if this is how we're going to deal with just the migrants, imagine what happens when passengers trains begin from June 1st. So I don't want to get into who said what, but let's try and hear the stories from both sides to understand where the problem is and just what can be the possible solution. Let's say good evening to Priyanka Chaturvedi joining us right now on the special broadcast, Member of Parliament for Rajya Sabha and with the Shiv Sena. Let's also go across to Sudesh Verma, spokesperson of the BJP. But first up, quickly, I just want to play out what Devendra Fadnavis told me earlier in the day in a conversation about this whole fight that's been going on. Former Chief Minister of Maharashtra here batting for Piyush Goyal. ऐसा नहीं लग रहा मिस्टर फडणवीस की ये स्टेट और सेंटर की लड़ाई में लोगों को मुश्किल हो रही है, दिक्कत हो रही है, ना वो घर जा पा रहे हैं, ना यहाँ पे रह पा रहे हैं, पता नहीं कब जाएंगे, रोज हजारों में इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं, फिर ट्रेन्स कैंसिल हो जाती हैं। ये पॉलिसी मिसमैनेजमेंट का ब्लेम हम सिर्फ एक को दे, क्या ये सही है?
देखिए, ब्लेम गेम तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए। ब्लेम गेम कल जब सीएम साहब ने शुरू किया और उनके सांसदों ने शुरू किया, उस समय इसका जवाब पीयूष गोयल जी ने दिया। इससे पहले पीयूष गोयल जी बोले नहीं। देखिए, महाराष्ट्र को 525 ट्रेनें, 525 ट्रेन वर गिवन टू महाराष्ट्र और करीब 7,30,000 माइग्रेंट लेबर का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन महाराष्ट्र से अभी तक हुआ है और रोज जितनी ट्रेनें मांगी जाती हैं उतनी ट्रेनें मिली है। और इतना ही नहीं है, जैसे पीयूष गोयल जी ने बताया कि चूंकि महाराष्ट्र सरकार का मिसमैनेजमेंट रहा, 65 ट्रेन वर अवेलेबल बट उनको कैंसिल करना पड़ा क्योंकि उस समय लोग पहुंच नहीं पाए। तो एक तरफ लोगों को जाना है लेकिन हम मैनेज नहीं कर पाए, इसलिए लोग पहुंच नहीं पाए। दूसरा, कई ट्रेनें कैपेसिटी से 20%, 30% पर भी गई। तो मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे समय, देखिए ये बड़ा एक संक्रमण का समय है, इस समय ब्लेम गेम की जगह अगर दोनों सरकारें मिलकर काम करती तो अच्छा होता। पीयूष गोयल जी ने रात को 1-1 बजे महाराष्ट्र में फोन कर करके यहाँ के प्रॉब्लम्स छुड़ाए और ऐसे समय कल अचानक जो अपनी सारी विफलताएं, उन विफलताओं को छुपाने के लिए हर चीज का ठिकरा केंद्र सरकार के सिर पर फोड़ने का एक नई नीति यहाँ की ये 3 पार्टियों की सरकार ने शुरू की है। उसके तहत कल बिना कारण के रेलवे को ब्लेम किया गया, पीयूष गोयल जी को ब्लेम किया गया, तब जाकर उन्होंने उसका जवाब दिया और उन्होंने कहा बताइए भाई कितनी चाहिए। अब देखिए, कल इन्होंने कहा हमने लिस्ट दे दी, आज 30 से ज्यादा ट्रेन ये मांग नहीं पाए, 30 ही ट्रेन आज मांगी है। तो ये जब 30 ट्रेन मांग रहे हैं आप, 30 ट्रेन आपको मिल रही है, तो ऐसे समय क्यों इस प्रकार की बात करते हैं, क्यों केंद्र सरकार के ऊपर ठिकरा फोड़ने का प्रयास करते? देखिए, बहुत एक संक्रमण की अवस्था है, टर्बुलेंट टाइम है। ऐसे समय हो सकता है केंद्र सरकार, राज्य सरकार दोनों को भी ओवरबोर्ड जाकर काम करना पड़ रहा है, ओवर टाइम काम करना पड़ रहा है, कुछ समन्वय का अभाव हो सकता है, लेकिन ऐसी चीजें बोली नहीं जाती, ऐसी चीजें समझी जाती है, उसको निपटा जाता है। लेकिन आप अगर अपने भाषणों में केंद्र सरकार को ब्लेम करना शुरू करेंगे तो इसका जवाब तो देना ही पड़ेगा।
नहीं, लेकिन ये भी तो हुआ है कि पॉलिसी चेंजेस कितने सारे हो गए हैं। पहले उन्होंने कहा कि दोनों स्टेट्स आपस में म्यूचुअली डिसाइड करके ट्रेन का रिक्वेस्ट डालेंगे, फिर उन्होंने कहा सिर्फ सेंडिंग स्टेट डालेंगे बिकॉज रिसीविंग स्टेट्स अप्रूवल नहीं दे रहे थे, फिर ये हुआ कि नहीं हम ही खुद संभालेंगे, फिर कुछ ट्रेनें जो महाराष्ट्र से निकली उत्तर प्रदेश के लिए वो रीरूट हो गई, उड़ीसा से होते हुए चली जा रही हैं। तो कहीं तो ये बड़ा पॉलिसी कन्फ्यूजन भी तो हो रहा है।
नहीं, देखिए पॉलिसी कंफ्यूजन नहीं है। जब हम कोई नई चीज करते हैं तो नई चीज में आपको उस समय की परिस्थितियों के अनुसार ट्वीकिंग करना पड़ता है। सो दिस वाज ट्वीकिंग। उदाहरण के तौर पर पहले माइग्रेटरी लेबर को दोनों स्टेट अप्रूवल देंगे तभी वो जाएंगे, ऐसी परिस्थिति आई। बंगाल ने कहा हम लेंगे ही नहीं, कई स्टेट्स ने कहा हम नहीं लेंगे। इससे परेशानी यह हो गई कि एक और माइग्रेटरी लेबर का प्रेशर तैयार था, ट्रेनें तैयार थी, वो लोग स्टेशनों पे आ रहे थे और सामने वाली स्टेट कहती थी हम इनको लेंगे नहीं। इसलिए फिर पॉलिसी ये चेंज हुई कि भाई ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, आपको इनको लेना पड़ेगा, आप इनको रोक नहीं सकते। और इसलिए जो सामने वाला राज्य है उसकी परमिशन की आवश्यकता नहीं है। केवल रेलवे ने ये कहा कि चूंकि हमको ट्रेन छोड़नी है तो हम ऐसे मतलब ट्रेन तो नहीं छोड़ सकते, तो आप कम से कम कहाँ भेजना है उसकी लिस्ट और कितने लोग जाने वाले हैं, कौन लोग जाने वाले हैं, आपके पास उनका एनरोलमेंट है कि नहीं, इसकी लिस्ट हमको दीजिए। वो लिस्ट आने के बाद ट्रेन छोड़ी जाती है।
Let's say good evening to Priyanka Chaturvedi and Sudesh Verma joining me on this conversation right now. Priyanka Chaturvedi, let's begin with you. Let's try and understand what's gone wrong. Suddenly such public ugly fighting that's taking place, that can't be good for actual policy implementation on ground.
Who's fighting, Tanvi? I'd like to understand that. Who is fighting? We'd want to understand why is everything being politicized. Any feedback coming from Maharashtra becomes a political match for Mr. Devendra Fadnavis and his entire BJP for Maharashtra team. I would want to know what was politicized in this entire issue. Chief Minister comes and addresses the state. Isn't it the right of the residents to know right from the Chief Minister where Maharashtra stands in this COVID battle? So while he talks about the number of tests carried out, while he tells us how many have turned positives, while he has told us how many have recovered, while he's given you an information about the hospital beds availability, ICU beds available, ventilator facility available, and in that spirit, he also shares that we haven't got the GST refund yet, which we are seeking for. That's the support we are seeking from the centre. We do not have enough trains. We have we have the capacity of 80 trains to run. 40 trains are what we are getting, 40 to 50 trains. We could do with more. And the third thing that he speaks about is about PPE kits, etc., not being received on time. That is all. He's just addressing the people of his state and being very honest to them about where the problems exist, what are the loopholes that exist. And he has also in his conversation said how he spoke to Hardeep Singh Puri ji about the flights taking off from Mumbai. I do not know why did why did the rail minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal, who represents Maharashtra in the Rajya Sabha, also happens to get this additional charge as a minister, made this such a big issue about we are talking about 80 trains. He wants us, he gives us half an hour. I mean, the entire state of Maharashtra should be erupting out of joy that we've got half an hour to declare how many workers will be going, migrant workers would be going in 125 trains that he has deigned to give to Maharashtra government. Along with that list, he wants the health certificate of every single worker who would be boarding these trains. And half an hour is what is allotted to us. I mean, why this entire idea of politicizing every single thing? Just 3 days back, you had the entire state, Maharashtra BJP, out on the roads protesting. I would want to ask these protesters, I would want to ask Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, how many trains has he organized for migrant workers to go, Shramik trains has he organized for migrant workers to go from Maharashtra to their states? I would want to know from him, how many mouths has he fed while these people were under lockdown? I would want to know how many letters has he written to the Prime Minister asking for GST? I would want to know from him, why is he defending the removal of IFSC from Maharashtra, the headquarters from Maharashtra, and going to
he's not
Gujarat?
here, Priyanka Chaturvedi. Let me just say
because
that accountability actually comes from the center and the state. He's not even in power anymore. It's not much that he can do.
Listen, what are you even saying? What are you even suggesting? He's the leader of opposition in Maharashtra. I'm very surprised that you asked me this question. You were talking, one of with him for last 15 minutes.
Yes, he's the
So if
leader of
he's so
opposition. He's not in the government, is what I said. Now, here is my question to you, and then Sudesh Verma can respond to you. My question is this.
Last 15 minutes. He's a
Okay,
nobody.
let me
I
ask my
find this
question. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
ask your
somebody
questions.
who's
Ask that.
actually a part of the decision-making process here, Priyanka Chaturvedi, and that's
Everything
Piyush Goyal. Now, Piyush Goyal says, where is the list for
But you're letting-
125 trains from Maharashtra? As Priyanka Chaturvedi, you have to listen to me and my question, otherwise this will be a waste of time. Piyush Goyal, the minister who's in charge of decisions here, says, where is the list for 125 trains from Maharashtra as of 2 a.m. received list for only 46 trains, of which 5 are to West Bengal and Odisha, which cannot operate due to cyclone Amphan. Now, at 2 a.m.,
Yes.
he's tweeting and saying, I asked for the list. You only gave it for 46 trains. So why are you crying about 80 trains? Now, what do you have to say to that?
Firstly, Tanvi ji, I take strong objection to your statement saying why you're crying about it. I'm certain you haven't spoken about the tears of our migrant workers. I'm certain Mr. Devendra Fadnavis hasn't seen the migrant workers crying with, their soles of their feet badly damaged because of the walking. You haven't once asked Mr. Piyush Goyal that, Mr. Piyush Goyal, where were you when the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, when the first lockdown was announced and only 4 hours were given for every single state to handle the entire COVID lockdown? But when the Chief Minister asked for more trains to run, at least for the first 2-3 days of the lockdown, where was Mr. Piyush Goyal? Where was Mr. Piyush Goyal when migrants were walking back home because there were no trains available to them? Where was Mr. Piyush Goyal when they were going hungry? He had the audacity to say that none of them have gone hungry in the past 3 months. Where was Mr. Piyush Goyal when migrants from various other states, including Gujarat, including Karnataka, including Madhya Pradesh, including the various other Haryana, they were coming out on the streets and protesting. I'm very surprised that you talk about these 121 trains, which he thinks that he's, he's doing some favor to the state government, when the state government's chief minister was only sharing his concern as the chief minister of a state with the residents of the state.
Okay, Sudesh Verma, do you want to respond to that? Okay, let's get Sudesh Verma to respond to that. I don't need to be told what I have to ask and don't ask. Priyanka Chaturvedi, that's not even the point of the debate. It sounds as if you watch Mirror Now constantly, so you know what I ask and I don't ask. Irrespective, Sudesh Verma, go ahead, please. Yes.
I'm invited on Mirror Now. I have every reason to even speak, just as much as you're speaking. And I'm
Priyanka is speaking. And that is the whole point, you see. You should listen to sounds of reason. And reason is that, you see, Mr. Goyal, Piyush Goyal, Honorable Railway Minister, has told you that the list doesn't have 125 trains. The list has only 46 trains. So if you have sent a list of 125, why don't you show it before the media? That would be the best thing to know why you are doing politics over this. We have said that we are ready to do, we are ready to give you as many trains as you want, because we have lots of trains lying in the back at 1,200 trains in the backup, and the government is capable to run 400 trains per day. Why would it not give to Maharashtra, tell me? Maharashtra is the state that runs the economy of this country. Why will one discriminate against Maharashtra? But because Maharashtra figures on COVID is bad, you have come to this level that you're only shouting and you are just trying to create a rhetoric, create a narrative that does not exist. You tell me, who has not given you what? You have got all the PPEs, you have got the masks, you have got whatever you asked for. The cases have gone up, we can understand your requirement, you require more. So you ask for that. Why you are doing politics? You see, on the issue of running flights also, I checked with the Civil Aviation Minister, Mr. Hardeep Puri, after the charges came that they were not consulted. The state governments were not consulted. And he told me that yes, there were consultations. They were taken into confidence. And the only worry which Mr. Uddhav had was...
Mr. Sudesh Verma.
Hold on. Yes,
Mr. Sudesh Verma, not even one state political representative before you came on this debate has said that. Everybody says that the states were not consulted, that the centre simply made a decision and announced it.
It's wrong, Tanvi.
We had the TRS, we had the AIADMK, we had the Congress party, everybody say the same thing.
series of talks with Uddhav Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray had expressed certain concerns about Mumbai International Airport. Those concerns have been addressed. Why Maharashtra is the one state that is facing problem with the center? Tell me.
On Sunday night.
Because they were asked
On Sunday night. On Sunday night. No, Mr.
doesn't
Sudesh
matter.
Verma, here is the problem. Listen to me. Okay.
No,
Listen,
Tanvi,
here is the
don't
problem,
get the
Mr.
facts
Sudesh
right.
Verma.
Tanvi,
You
the
are having
fact
this
is-
argument with Maharashtra about the
me
migrant
complete
trains
Let me
1
complete
month
my
after the
argument.
migrant train decision was made.
No, let me complete my argument.
Okay.
200 flights were to run to Mumbai. This was the original agreement. Then they came to 25. If Mumbai is taking only 25, how are you going to run the economy? Because those who take the flight, they invariably take for business purposes also.
Can
Does Maharashtra
I
understand
say
this?
something here? Can I say something here?
Are you saying Uddhav Thackeray agreed to 200 flights? Are you saying Uddhav
This was-
Thackeray agreed to
yes.
200 flights,
This
Mr.
was
Sudesh
the initial
Verma?
agreement.
I don't think the
This
states
was
had
the
agreed to
initial
this
agreement. I'm
plan.
telling you, this was the initial agreement. In the last hour, they said, no, we can take only
Can I
25,
just say something
25.
here?
Priyanka
Can I say
Chaturvedi.
something here?
We are giving you
Priyanka
we are giving you
Chaturvedi.
solutions to deal with COVID.
I did not
cases.
wish to interrupt. I did not wish to interrupt all these ridiculous charges coming from the spokesperson who's come
Now
so
it is
ill
ridiculous.
prepared.
What you
With
say is
regard-
only
I just
polemics.
want to
What you
please-
say is only
please,
words.
I'm not- I was
What
not
you
talking-
speak is only words. There is no substance. What I have said is fact. What's that link by fact? If you have the guts.
Can if he continues talking, I might as well leave this discussion.
I'm not
He has
here to
made
listen
some
to what
charges.
We can hear you. Go ahead,
He has
please.
made
Yes.
some-
He says
He has made some. Can you ask him to
BJP
keep
is
quiet,
saying
please? He
Uddhav
has-
Thackeray agreed to 200 flights.
What are you saying? I mean, I find this such a ridiculous thing that you all are even asking me this question. Please remember, 3 days before flights were allowed, it was the Ministry of Home Affairs who, in a notification, had said that there are no flights which are going to be taking off in the extension of this lockdown. Who announced the lockdown? The Prime Minister of this country. Prime Minister said the lockdown extension is happening. Ministry of Home Affairs issues a notification, no flights. 3 days later, we suddenly have this information that flights are going to take off. None of the states have been taken on board. None of the states have been told. 200 flights. I mean, what is he talking about? If there is an extension of lockdown, Ministry of Home Affairs has categorically said no flights are taking off. 3 days later, suddenly there's an announcement, and then the Ministry of Home Affairs goes back and changes the notification, and you're accusing us. 200 flights in a city which is considered a red zone right now. You want economy to start working again, then the Prime Minister should come forward and announce that all the lockdown is lifted and you all do what you all want and we are not going to continue with this lockdown. This is absolutely such unfounded charges coming from the Bharatiya Janata Party. And let me tell you one more thing. Hardeep Singh Puri ji at least lifted the phone and we tried to coordinate and iron out all the differences possible, ensure that the flights would take off at people who had booked. Bookings began without even the states knowing whether they should be, they have the standard protocol in place before flights can take off or land. We have allowed those to happen, and gradually the Chief Minister himself has said we'll ensure that more flights take off from Mumbai and land in Mumbai. I find this so ridiculous that random accusations are made, unthought out accusations are made, false rhetoric is used just to make a state government look bad. I mean, people are watching y'all. People are seeing what y'all are doing. Here you have a chief minister who's been absolutely transparent in his approach, keeping the people of the state posted. And here is a spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party who's coming in with some baseless accusations with absolute zero regard to what their own Ministry of Home Affairs is saying.
Quick response from Mr. Sudesh Verma and then we wrap.
Tanvi, whatever I have spoken the fact. The decision to resume flight was taken on May 20th. That from 25th, flight will resume. All the states were ready. Even Maharashtra was ready. Otherwise, how did you allow 25, tell me, if you are not ready? What is there as salary for 25, not 50, tell me? Why not 26? Because you are ready. It's just that you have an axe to grind. You want to show in bad light that you are fighting. We are not allowing you to fight. We are there with you. But the problem is that you are just trying to shift the blame. You are not even giving the migrant workers their due. And that is the whole crisis about. You can't even take them to railway station and you need to certify
Well,
them.
unfortunately, Mr. Sudesh Verma, unfortunately, Mr. Sudesh Sharma and Priyanka Chaturvedi and to every other political representative in this country, nobody is giving migrants their due. They have been ignored and forgotten in this country for 2 months now, and even now we're just having these political fights and blame games. On ground, their situation is not improving. They have been stranded, desperate, helpless. They're not getting food. They're not getting water in their trains. Look at the visuals that are emerging from various parts of the country. They're jumping at the water bottles and food packets wherever they see them at the railway platform because they're not getting any in the train. That's how we are treating these migrants after 2 months of complete torture that they have gone through. Add to that what's happened with the airlines now, and the flyers who've been away from their homes and families for 2 months finally believe that the airline operations are starting, book their tickets, land at the airport only to find out their flights have been cancelled. Now they don't know when they're going back home, and until then, what do they do? How do they get back? Where do they stay? What about public transport? There's no public transport in Mumbai. How are people supposed to go to and fro from the airport? Add to this a massive plan we have now to start 200 more trains every day from June 1st. Are we ready? Or can we learn some lessons from both of these instances, from both of these massive mayhem and chaos instances that we've got, to learn our lessons, to coordinate better between the states and the center before we implement any fresh policy? Think about it, viewers. My advice would be, until our states and center start talking to each other and communicating with each other, don't make any travel plans lest you get stuck somewhere else, lest you start from Maharashtra, end up in Odisha, even though you were on a train to Uttar Pradesh. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.